Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new series here on the Resonant Rise Expedition server. Here we are, we have, let me see, how many people do we have online at the moment? It is me, Sakalau, Apsiliara, Seiss, and Dave himself, our expedition leader. But I have to say, he's picked a really bad place to expedition to. Expedite? No. Because, like, this place is honestly pretty attractive. It's pretty beautiful. It's nice. It's a lot of flora, a lot of fauna, very green. A couple of small volcanoes here and there, which might be indicative of other things. But like, so full of like horrid beasties. Like we have let me see. We have Ender Zoo. We have special mobs. We have Quiverbow, which adds its own like projectiles to various mobs, and to cap it all off, we have the random mob's Blood Moon, which happens more often than would seem to make sense. And oop, you guys can die, because I'm actually going to probably need your gubbins pretty soon. Yep, one more. Come on. Die, please. Thank you. Okay. So we've always sort of set up in our various areas. Dave, I believe, is roughly that way at the moment for me, and like Boa and whatnot over there from Life Boa or Boa Illustration on Tumblr. But we have this problem. Like, we've got the Mobius, but not every time can people get to beds in time for the Blood Moon, and the Blood Moon quite often prevents you from sleeping. So it's a bit of a problem. Now, I figure I might be able to provide some kind of spiritual, speaking of mysticals, some kind of spiritual assistance there. Now, I'm not a spiritual man, generally speaking, but when it comes to Minecraft, I'm pretty damn good at killing stuff. But you can't just kill stuff. I mean, come on, that's so blasé, that's so, like, 2012 killing stuff. No, you have to kill stuff in a specific manner, and I was thinking that I would make a temple. And being me, and the massive nerd that I am, I was thinking of making it essentially a Shinto temple. Now, if you don't know what Shinto is, it is a fairly old religion. Oh, tree. A fairly old religion that thrived dominantly inside of feudal Japan. I believe everything has a spirit, among other things, and I believe that if you mistreat it even so much as like a sandal, then it could potentially come back and basically haunt you. Imagine that, being haunted by a shoe. So this is what is presently Yokai Temple, which is, by the way, the name, hence the title above the episode. If that hadn't clued you in that this is going to be Yokai Temple, then it's Yokai Temple. Okay, Yokai just means a bewitching spirit, like a ghost or whatnot. So I've got a few things set up. So let's cover first and foremost. Yokai Temple is going to be set atop of these few hills. Can I just... there we go. So there's a hill here, and then there's a couple more hills just to the east there that have like those little grey cobblestoney ruin structures on them. And they're going to be where I start putting the temple structures. A lot of people have gone with like tree houses of one sort or another, but I'm not. So I'm going to, like, where that little arch kind of section there is, I'm probably going to put like a monastery bell. That'd be nice. And then there's got this like big sort of valley area in between where I'm going to have these guys. So they can have like a little village population. I can have priests roaming around as I need them. I can also have military to fend off monsters that come creeping up in the Blood Moon. That will probably be dangerous, but that's why I'm having minions do it. Of course, if you are thinking whether I'm going to be just getting wholesale rid of the aspect of magic, such as in Witch in the Woods. By the way, this is only going up because I couldn't get on the Org server today because it's down, but it's not dying. Witch in the Woods is still there, it's just not on today, due to technical difficulties. So yeah, I'm thinking we'll have like our priestly cleansing services. There's a whole ton of some really cool magic effects that we can do, that I don't think have been covered in like major detail. So, for example, Random Things adds the Ginto, that if we fill it with ectoplasm, we can revive players where they died. So that is a pretty cool feature. And then we're gonna be trying to automate the supply crafting and all sorts for all manner of stuff. And whether Yokai Temple remains uncorrupted by its interaction with the undead, the evil, the abominable, and such, remains to be seen. We'll see what happens. But anyways, that is Yokai Temple. That is the plan. We're going to be building a Shinto temple. It's going to be fun. Complete with priesthood. Yay. So next up, Ancient Warfare. So you can see I've got these guys, and they're all from the Ancient Warfare NPCs section, or the Ancient Warfare automation section and whatnot. So these guys are presently Dave 1, Dave 2, and Dave 3, as well as a Shrine Priest, because what else would I name him, I guess. Currently not doing much because they're really, really hungry. They're from the Ancient Warfare mod, which allows you to create pseudo-automation, allows you to create villages that can, like, automate themselves, that kind of thing. It's not as smart as York Dwarves, but we can't have everything. And honestly, I would be a little bit on the braggy side to suggest that we could. But yeah, these guys are hungry, so let me give them some food. Whoop. Now, of course, it being me... oh, did I think I emptied out all my stuff. It being me, I have already been dabbling with a few things. So, for starters, let's take a look at my armament. I have a... let's see, the modified powder knuckle, which you make from the standard powder knuckle, which I don't think we can get up here. Let me just open and flip it, though, because that's the mod these come from. There we go. There we go. Powder Knuckle. Explosion, radius 1.5 on hit, damage 19. For reference, players have 20 health. Punch to attack mobs, use to attack terrain, craft up to 8 gunpowder to reload, not safe for use. So really, relatively cheap, you just need gunpowder to refuel it, and it creates explosions, which occasionally set people on fire, usually send them flying into the sky. And I've got the modified version, which does less damage, but also mines a 3x3x3 area and has Silk Touch. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty fantastic for going out mining. And it still does pretty dang decent damage at 15. Melee only, does actually leave a crater, so don't use it next to your chests, as I have learned. My next tool I have is the Ender Rifle. This was a pain to get, because it requires Ender Eyes, and we haven't been to the end yet, and Endermen are all over the place. Basically, refuel it with iron. That's its munition, is little iron pellets, basically. Knockback 1 on hit, damage ranges from 4 to 16, based on how far it has travelled to shoot someone. Mild cooldown, but it auto reloads other than that. And let me see, crouch to zoom. So that's the one cool thing I can show off. So if I hold it like so, you can see they've got nice models. The powder knuckle doesn't for some reason. I don't really know why. But I can take a look over at my guys. It's not very far zoom. There are ways to get bigger zoom, but ours is just this. And Quiverbow is basically the addition of a whole ton of, like, really interesting weapons. So even just the simple one is the bow with quiver. Holds more arrows up to 256. Pretty fantastic. And I started out with just using the compact crossbow, which I then upgraded to a double, and then to an auto crossbow, so I could hold 8 bolts. But I donated that to, I believe, my Whelpin' Sassy. But there's a whole ton of, like, really cool items. One thing I'm really looking forward to getting at some point is, there we are, the Blaze Crossbow. Damage 20 to 30. Now, the downside is it only has one shot per, like, per clip, and you have to craft it, like, even if just in your inventory here to reload it. But that's pretty nice. 20 to 30 damage will kill basically anything. So, yeah, looking forward to that. Also sets them on fire for 15 seconds and has knockback 2, so that is pretty good. Also, if you aim it at the ground and shoot the Blaze Crossbow, it actually, like, leaves the rod stuck in the ground, smoking away as, like, a little flaming fire hazard for players. I haven't seen mobs get lit by it, but that's still pretty damn cool to me. And there are, of course, mortars, including explosive ones, and there's even a lightning rod, as well as a sun ray, which I want to try and get, because that looks really cool, but I need to kill a wither for it, because beacon. But yeah, there's just a lot of really, really cool stuff in here, and I'd really like to try and get through a bunch of it. But anyway, that's the main part of my munitions. So I've got the Ender Rifle, the modified Powder Knuckle, and the Sugar Engine. So, carries up to 200 sugar rods, which is basically just made from sugarcane, and sticks. Damage is 1 to 3 per rod, but it fires about 20 of them per second, so For those of you doing the math, that's between 20 and 60 damage per second. It's in a spray, it's a machine gun, but, and it also has a 1.5 second startup time, but that's pretty damn good. Like, I can take down some of the baddest mofos in the mods here right now with this setup. It's pretty awesome. Including the angry pigmen, for example, like in the Nether, because harvesting Nether quartz actually angers the pigmen. Oh dear. But yeah, you needn't think that I've gone completely away from the magic. So I have here a Spectre key, which is made from the ectoplasm I mentioned earlier. It's also from random things. And the Spectre key is basically just Spectre iron on top of a stick. And if let me just go to F5 so you can see it. If I hold on to this, then boop. I have travelled through the dimensions to find myself in a slightly glitchy area because of, like, loading issues. I have found myself inside of a box made of Spectre blocks that are, of course, light blue, because why wouldn't they be? And these, I don't know how these chickens keep getting out, but it's kind of getting annoying. Bleh. I should really move them to a dedicated farm, but, you know, I'm not going to complain too much. I've got plenty of them. So this is where I'm keeping all of my storage, after one too many troubles with, like, attribute-added, like, creepers that would sneak up on me, put me in a cobweb, and then explode next to my chests. So all my chests are up here. And, I also happen to have the, research engineering, so, if you're getting into the Ancient Warfare mod, you need the research station to try and learn things, for which you also need a research book. Fairly cheap. Not quite so cheap to actually research anything. And I don't think I have anything... Okay, yeah, I've got a bunch of things queued. Wow, I need to really work on that. But yeah, you go in here, you select which things you want to learn, it will show you what things you can learn after that as well, and everything that you want to learn requires certain research materials and takes a certain volume of time. It's usually about 200. That's probably going to change. And then you put all the ingredients in, it takes them all, it winds up the progress. You can have it check from adjacent inventories as a way of automating things if you want. And then you take your research book, put it in here, and you can craft the various things from the Ancient Warfare mod. So, let me see, if I go to here, you can see there's a bunch of stuff. Not all of this is craftable, that's worth pointing out. And I can't see a bunch of this because I haven't personally crafted it, or researched it, rather. So I can craft the things like the drafting station and all that, but not too much. The routing order I need to get to work on. So let's get a second crop farm, because currently our guys are starving quite often, which means they don't take damage. They don't starve to death like humans do, but they do stop working a lot of the time. So there's a crop farm, and for that we need an iron hoe and 2 wooden gear sets, which are fairly straightforward. We can craft those outside of things. My very first day on the server, I had to deal with a giant tree from a rollback that had respawned itself, so yeah, I've got a lot of wood, which is fairly okay, because we're probably going to need a lot of that for actual, like, building. Okay, so there's our gears, and let's grab that, because I'm going to need a couple more. There we go. And a couple of iron. I have plenty of iron, so I'm not too worried about that. And then I'll show you guys how we actually, like, get to work making our guys work, because that seems like a nice little introductory segment. Okay, so doop, and there. And plonk that there. We also need a chest. Fairly cheap, honestly. It only really becomes expensive when you're starting to do it in big numbers, when you start adding everything together. Okay, and we stick that there, and it does not tell us if we can craft it, because we don't have our research booklet there. So we solve that by grabbing our research book. You have to right-click this when you get it to bind it to you, and I think only you can use it. But there is our crop farm. Now, I've already checked, and unfortunately, you can't use this with custom crops. So, for example, you can't use it for cotton, you can't use it for anything from magical crops, which is a pain. I'll have to, like, actually automate those myself. But they're there, it's something. Let me just dump a bunch of these, like, excess foods and stuff in here. I need to upgrade these chests as well, jeez. Getting so full on stuff. Doop. We do have applied energistics too. But it's a lot more expensive to use now, so wary. Is that? Yeah, that should be about everything. Oh yes, we need some coal because our guys are already quite hungry. I've been feeding them steak, but that only works as long as they're actually, like, harvesting. And the farms themselves are actually largely built against standard automation. You have to have a guy called a courier to try and, like, grab stuff out of them and put them elsewhere, that kind of thing. But I am not 100% certain on how to do that, so this will be a learning experience for all involved. Oh yes, the Wizard's Touch. I think I explained that already, so let's get to work on this. Okay, so we've got our crop farm, and we want one having wheat for the cows, one having potatoes for our farmers, and currently they're on top of the hill, so I would like to move them, because that's just not proper. You don't put, like, your farms next to the shrine. That's not done. That is not the proper way. But it's the way we're currently doing it, so yeah. So let's plunk this one down over here. I think that should be... Okay, yeah, that's good enough. And they're very particular about where everything goes, so we just get rid of that. And I think we're just doing potatoes here, yeah. So let's grab some seeds from over here. While we're at it, we will... Whoop. We will put our coal in here. Any more? Beef? No more beef. Okay, so that should create us some nice steak for them to enjoy. So we've got 3 Daves and a Shrine Priest. That's running that, so I need this to be running this. And they're not going to really do anything right now because they're really hungry. They're sort of on a food strike, so we need to feed them. Cube. So if I shove this in here, hopefully the shrine priest won't grab it. Okay, somebody grabbed it, but somebody's still hungry, apparently. Yeah. Come on. Yeah, I need a faster furnace. Do I have any more food that I could give them? I don't think so. So the idea that I'm trying to work out here is that we've got this sugarcane farm so that I can reload my clips of sugar rods to feed the habit that is my sugar engine. And to feed my workers, I've got a wheat farm to feed my cows, which then creates beef. I can set how many cows I want just sort of in supply inside of here. Right now it's set at the default of 6, and it will automatically kill them. So the idea is that we get a courier to take the wheat from the farms and put it into here, and then take the beef that comes out of that and put it into a chest or a hopper or a redstone furnace, which we don't have yet, and that will automatically smelt it, and then they'll deposit that inside the town hall where everyone gets their food. This is the idea, but it remains to be seen on whether anyone will actually do it. And I think we're lagging a bit because they're being kind of jerky. They're usually kind of straight and on the point. Most of these farms actually don't need somebody manning them all the time, but they will stop working if someone doesn't wind them up after a while. But I think we're okay. Oop. Just add a little bit more food to the town hall while we're at it. And I'm almost certain that's gone. Yep, immediately. So the reason that I have the Shrine Priest, default name is just a priest, by the way, they will resurrect people if they die. Now, I don't know if there's anybody around here who actually targets these guys, but suffice it to say, I would rather not find out. And also, if they start to, really mess up, then it's a great way for me to deal with the losses, because anyone in a given village that dies, according to the town hall, will immediately be resurrected by a priest if they happen to be nearby as well. So yeah, they are currently working away. Almost everyone but the Shrine Priest is, hungry at the moment. Just clear this. Now, I can tell them to work at specific farms, so I can give them, specific names, so I can say Takeshi should only work on the crop farm, I can say Higuro should only work with the animals, that kind of thing. They don't have those names yet, I'm just spitballing here. But yeah, so that's working quite nicely so far. They haven't gotten over to the other farm just yet. Let's see. Priest is still hungry. Let me see, I have a bucket, and there is going to be no water by those wheat, so let's go and grab that. Yeah, I think they're all winding up the reed farm at the moment. Oh, okay, a little bit of lag, too. Eek. Okay, so what kind of magic can we stick into this place? Oh, hello, looks like somebody's working on this place. Thank you, Dave 2. You can see their health starts at 20 and goes higher too as well. They do kind of level up. Oh, yep, we are finally working on that. Good. We don't have any, like... No, we don't have any more potatoes. That's a pain. Oh, well. So we've got the magic parts of random things. Let me just bring that up. So we can make imbuing, we can make the flasks and such. We can make energized water, energy diamonds, bloodstones are something I might look into. We can make biome capsules. We can. I don't know if we can actually make the spectre blocks. I think those are just indestructible. But we can make spectre glass. Now the trouble is that the ectoplasm is a rare drop from undead mobs, so we're gonna have to deal with that. But if we can get like the gintos, like we can straight up resurrect people from the dead. Like we have graveyard mod. We have the gravestone on here, so we don't have to worry too much about losing our items. But that's still pretty handy if your bed's like miles away. Imagine doing that in like a dungeon raid with somebody. That'd be pretty cool. We also have Britannia, which I'm probably not going to touch too much because everybody and their dog does it. We do have Ars Magica, so maybe I'll touch on that a bit. We do have Witchery, which I know you all love to see me do, and that actually has been updated in this version. So we do actually have the kobolds, so we can actually do some fun stuff with them. Yeah, kobold-like pickaxe and all that, pretty cool stuff. I'm still going to be doing Witchery inside of Witcher in the Woods, of course. We're just not doing that today. We actually do have, let's see, I can't remember the exact phrase. Let me see if I can find it. It is not blood magic, definitely not blood magic. Not metallurgy. Let me see, we need... Project E. There we are. Project E. So this is, if you remember way back to Carpenter Station, this is all the stuff that I was trying to escape. This is a rebuild, essentially, of Equivalent Exchange. So we can actually make all of this stuff again. I don't know if I will, because honestly it still seems kind of cheaty. It seems a bit too much for me. So I'm probably not going to be using that, but it's there if we want to use it for something. We also have, if I can bring it up, there we go, we have Blood Magic, Alchemical Wizardry. We also have Alchemy ++, which I really want to get involved with, because that's got some really tremendously, like, hard-to-get stuff a lot of the time. Like a squid eye, you have to kill a squid with named shears, specifically named shears. You have to get springy cord, a slime has to die of falling damage. So there's some really esoteric, like, ingredients there, and that's going to be really cool to mess around with. But I think as the night is dawning on us again, the priests and I shall hole up for the night. They don't actually do anything at night, so that's also another thing. And I shall catch you all next time.